I've seen this with lots of young men, lots of them, lots of the ones who come to see my talks. All they've heard their whole goddamn life is that there's something toxic and oppressive about our patriarchal society. And that's the fundamental way of looking at it. And that the right way of construing the relationship between men and women through history is one of unbridled oppression on the part of men in relationship to women. What the hell are they supposed to derive from that? What kind of message are they supposed to derive from that? There's something good about getting up in the morning and wanting to take your place in society? It's like, no, a society, it's an oppressive patriarch. It's responsible for everything that's hell in the world. Well, if I can't be good, and I can't because, toxic masculinity, then at least I can be harmless. Harmless isn't good. Harmless is pathetic. You're not here to be harmless. You're here to be dangerous in a useful way.
Gentlemen, if a chick breaks up with you, the correct response, no matter what the situation is, doesn't matter what the details are, doesn't matter if you fucked up or she fucked up or nobody fucked up, the correct response is always, okay. That's it. You can be angry, you can be upset, you can be hurt, you can be all kinds of emotions, but the response that you give to a chick when she breaks up with you is okay. Let me explain to you why. So in sales and negotiation psychology, the person who is capable of walking away from the deal holds the most power. That's number one. Number two is know your worth. So there's nothing more unattractive than breaking up with somebody and then them begging to have you back. The worst thing you can do during a breakup if someone is leaving you is be like, oh my God, please don't leave me. I miss you so much. You're the love of my life. I'll never live without you. That shows that you have very little value. And subconsciously, they will pick up on that and it will just make them not want to be with you more. It will actually reaffirm their decision. So know your worth, know your value. And if somebody doesn't want to be with you, thank them for not wasting any more of your time so that you can go spend your time doing what you want to do or developing something with somebody else. So that's number two. And the third and final reason why the correct response is always okay is a man who has control of his emotions is extremely attractive. So, two scenarios. Chick breaks up with you and you break composure and lose frame and start doing emotional shit. Not going to be very attractive. Opposite scenario. Chick breaks up with you and you remove yourself for a few days, collect yourself, have a conversation with her and say, hey, I really like you. I really want to make this work, but I do not want to be with somebody who does not value me. And you've just told me that you don't. I want somebody in my life that does value me. So I think this is the correct move, is to move on from each other. That will show her that you have self-respect, you have value, you know what you're doing in life, and if she doesn't want to be with you, she can get off the train, because your life should be a freight train. Hopefully that helps you guys. Know your worth, know your value. Don't let people into your lives that don't value you, because it will lower yours. And always have a purpose, always have a drive. Be a freight train in life.
Are you afraid that someone like her wouldn't talk to you? Does that scare you? Say, I'm afraid you wouldn't talk to me. Say it.
I'm afraid you wouldn't talk to me.
I'm afraid you'd make me feel unattractive.
I'm afraid you'd make me feel unattractive.
I'm afraid that my friends would laugh at me for you not talking to me.
I'm afraid that my friends would laugh at me for you not talking to me.
Say, I completely know that I could meet someone like you.
I completely know that I can meet someone like you.
Does it sound honest? He's on the fence, right? Do you see that? Can you easily see incongruent statements versus congruent?
You know what's so crazy to me is that at least women cheat up. Like, if your girl's gonna cheat on you and you work at FedEx, you best believe she's cheating on you with the CEO of Amazon. Y'all would cheat with a peanut butter jelly sandwich if you could.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're not even wrong. You see, with us men, when we cheat compared to when y'all cheat, we cheat just to get a quick nut. Whereas y'all cheat with a guy you actually like, and typically a guy that you think is better than your current boyfriend. You see, what women fail to realize is that y'all live in an abundance lifestyle. Us men, even if we're an attractive man, do not have as many options as a pretty woman. So all y'all gotta do is go to y'all DMs, your matches on Tinder, and pick out the best option that fits your criteria. I just need women to realize that it's 10 times easier for her to cheat up than a guy is, and that's just facts.
18, she starts to do things. Not with men her age, men older. 20, 22, 23, college. She looks good. She's looking good. She's getting all these dudes. She's getting all these bodies. She can get whoever she wants. The guy that's 18, he just getting out of high school. You broke. You working at the bar. You ain't got no money. And the average guy ain't got the looks. You're just now hitting the weights.
Yeah.
You're not really gonna see you're gonna see progress in 6 months, but we're talking about real progress. It's gonna take you like 3 years.
At least
3 years, 3 to 5 years.
At least.
Cold progress.
Yeah.
So by the time you get the cold progress, you're 28.
Yeah.
30. Your age. You're about to hit your prime.
Yeah.
It took you from the time you was born
Yeah.
till you was 30, 35.
So I gave y'all 5 things to never do after a breakup. Now I'm finna give y'all 5 things you need to do after a breakup. Number 1, self-improve. Instead of focusing on what that person did wrong and how they treated you wrong, focus on what you could have improved on. People tend to put their energy into the other person. Nah, fuck that. Take accountability. That way you can be a better partner to the next person. Number 2, get on your purpose. Start investing in your business. Start killing those hours at work. Start hitting the gym. Put yourself first, because you not putting yourself first is what most likely led to the breakup. Number 3, unfriend her on all socials. It's important that y'all understand female nature, and women are going to go out their way to make y'all jealous. Out of sight, out of mind. Number 4, date other women. Disclaimer, the women you date have to be better than your ex. At the very least, your main chick. So if your ex was 8, your next girl got to be a 9 or a 10. Fellas, we are visual. So if you dating a girl that don't look as good as your ex, who you think you going to be thinking about every time you with her?
So let me get this straight. You women want a guy who's taller than you, makes more money than you, more successful and driven than you, is in better shape than you, can make you laugh, have more confidence and charisma than you, able to buy you a big house, a big diamond ring, deal with your mood swings and bad attitude, take you shopping, take you on trips, and you still somehow think you're the prize and men should chase you?
Guys, I said it before and I'll say it again, man. Y'all better start wising up, man. Y'all are being looked at. Y'all young men out here and older gentlemen, y'all too. Y'all ain't exempt. Y'all are being looked at as ATM fucking machines, okay? This goddamn girl is gonna make $700, almost $800 off a fucking kid, off one baby, dude. You know, that man's paycheck probably ain't even half that. You know what I'm saying? Stop. No cohabitation, no marriage, no kids. That's it. Man, y'all gotta do better, dude. Y'all gotta start bringing it in, bro, cause you gonna be fucked, bro. 18 years, and it's gonna go up, cause the more money you make, she gonna take your ass right back in there, cause somebody gonna tell her to do it. Stop.
The only thing that will keep a man is a man who wants to be kicked.
Said no man ever. What is he, a dog? I promise you, if you ask a man what will make him stay with a woman forever, he's not gonna say, well, I don't know. I guess I just want to be kept. What is the aim for this argument? Because the result it's achieving is women entering relationships with no intention on accountability. Like, what is your intention with a man if you don't plan on supporting his dreams or being there when he needs you the most? Imagine if a man said, protecting your woman won't keep her. Caring for her needs won't keep her. The problem is, us as women have been listening to other women about men instead of actual men. We gotta do better.
Where's the dominance here, precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substance.
So Jordan Peterson claims that the society right now is not male dominated. And he substantiates this claim by saying that there are more victims of violence that are males and that most prisoners are men. But given that logic, it also follows that most perpetrators of violent crime are men as well. And he goes further by saying that most people who die in war are men. But for the longest time in history, it was women who were disallowed to participate in combat. And guess who made those decisions? Men. And then he goes further by saying that most people who commit suicide are men. So notice that all of these horrible things that Jordan Peterson was talking about is really made out of the decisions of men. And the reason why a lot of men disproportionately commit suicide more than women is because globally we have taught our sons and our young men to not talk about emotions and just hide them inside. And it's precisely because of the dominance of men and the patriarchy that that type of culture persists. The type of culture where a lot of men see that crying is a sign of weakness. When Jordan Peterson says, where's the dominance, you ask, I say that all of the harms that he's claiming is really out of the culture of violence that men have imposed on each other. So to any of my audience, if somebody asks you, in what ways is society male dominated? I've written down 5 ways. So number 1 is that women are harassed and catcalled in streets like daily. Women have a hard time feeling safe in public because of that. Yeah, though some men also get harassed, society doesn't tell men to stay at home so that they can be safe from perpetrators, as compared to how we say it to women. Secondly, women would spend hundreds and thousands of dollars for feminine hygiene products in their lifetime that men don't have to spend for. So if we just talk about our biology, women have an economic disadvantage. 3, most religious organizations don't allow women leaders. That's why all priests are male, all the popes are men. And I reckon it's similar to Judaism and Islam. 4th, workplace discrimination. The number of women who get sexually harassed at work is way more compared to men. And that's not even talking about promotions, preferential treatment, and salary raises. And number 5, bookshelves. I want you to observe your bookshelves and look at how many women authors do you have compared to men. Most of my authors are men.
Okay, because married women, you guys dress up more for the outside than you do your own husband. Okay, your own husband, every time he sees you get ready for work, every time he sees you rushing to go out to girls' nights out, you get dressed more than you do for your husband. You laying around like a frumpy Frito. All right, the rest of the time, that's what he gets. He gets your hot morning breath. All right, he gets that stank peace leave that hadn't been showered since Friday morning. Now it's Saturday night, Sunday night. All right, the married women are like, this is fantastic information. I did not realize how much of a slouch frumpy Frito.
And I ask you this question. Why are you even worried about women when you broke as hell, you ain't got no income, you ain't got no job, you ain't got no car, and you do not have your own place? Why are you worried about where you should take a woman? If anything, you should be worried about why you are broke, why you are fat, why you are out of shape, why you don't have no money coming in, why you don't have your own car, why you don't have your own house. That's what you should be worrying about.
So this is why I have a problem with the predator label, because they were willing participants in the dynamic. R. Kelly was having other people find and vet girls for him. And that's when it got out of control. This is the reason that I never got caught, because I never brought anyone else into my circus, so to speak. I could have been a predator. And even though I have a similar appetite to R. Kelly, I like young women. I ain't ashamed at it at all. She was willing. She wanted it. And here we come to R. Kelly. And I'm going to try to explain this appetite to you guys who don't have this appetite. Because the normal man doesn't have this appetite.
Listen, look, I'm a London scammer. I see it, I want it, I click it, and that's in the Brando Paris whipping.
Quick survey in the comments. Are you awakening? Have you awakened? Awakening just doesn't happen once. You start and then you continue to awaken for the rest of your life. And awakening is so often marked by pain. Part of that pain is when you awaken and you pull away from what everyone else is doing. You know that there's no going back. Because at that moment, you've stood up from the rest of the crowd. At that moment, you've been marked by the wild, and there's absolutely no going back. The option to slide back into where you were does not exist. That portal behind you has closed because you've just taken the red pill, and there is no ceiling to your potential to expand. And it ain't easy, but you get to be the protagonist in your own story. You get to be the superhero.
I be like, if I'm ready to fuck, I be ready to fuck now.
And I ain't gonna never tell nobody the truth, no way.
Exactly. How many niggas you fucked? 3.
Tell me, what is it? What is it? What is it? What's up?
Men fall in love with what they see. Women fall in love with what they hear. That's why women wear makeup, and it's why men lie.
Yes!
Why?
A lot of them are, no, it's not that they're single parents, it's that they feel like they need to go to school to work extra hard to become the man.
No, okay, but that means you're a single parent.
You are a single parent.
Why is she a single parent, though?
What I'm talking about is the specific thing that you talked about, women having to go to school to work.
But you're going bound, okay, Tiffany. Before going to school, you gave the justification that she's a single parent and she feels like she has to. Why is she a single parent? That's the first thing.
She's a single parent because she decided not to be with that man, or that man decided to exit the relationship, marriage, or what have you.
But 80% of children in the black community are born outside of marriage. That's true. Ma'am, here's the bottom line. If you're a single parent, marry before.
Yeah, that happens a lot. This happens a lot when women are approached by confident men that they're attracted to. This is what happens. They're going to break the eye contact. So this is perfect for you guys that lack confidence, that have insecurity issues, or that have approach anxiety. Bro, next time you go out, do this. Ask a woman for a favor. It can be small, like asking for directions, something like that. And hold the eye contact. If she's interested or not, hold the eye contact. Let her break it off first. This is going to build your confidence, and approaching women and closing the deal after you engage with her and getting her number is going to be easy. It's going to be slight.
Hi, Jordan. My question is, what is the antidote towards toxic masculinity?
Well, the antidote is responsible masculinity. And what does responsible mean? It means, well, if you're responsible, then you're trying to do what's honest first. So you're careful with your speech and your actions. You're careful with your speech in that you don't say things that you know to be false. And you're careful in your actions so that you don't have to lie about what you do. That's a good start. Do you want to repeat that?
I'm sorry. I said that didn't cover really toxic masculinity, right? Because
yes, it's dealing with the principle of reciprocity.
You just said that you have to be honest and responsible as a man. Right?
Well, put it this way. When I'm giving the spoon back to my granddaughter, I'm not engaging in toxic masculinity. And that was the point that I was trying to make. What precisely, since we're going to pursue this, what precisely is toxic masculinity? As opposed to, say, toxic femininity or toxic humanity. What exactly are you asking me about?
Well, I really want to know what you like, how you would describe toxic masculinity. Because
no, I want you to define what toxic masculinity constitutes. Since we're going to define things so carefully, let's do it. Okay, so before we move on, let me point something out. That I was willing to undertake this line of discussion, allowing for the possibility that the category of toxic masculinity had some content, right? But if we're going to pursue that line of reasoning and quibble about the answer, then we're certainly going to quibble about the definition that's embedded in the question. And so part of what's happened in our discourse is that we're required ethically to assume a priori, merely out of politeness, that the utterance toxic masculinity actually constitutes a meaningful phrase. And if you push it, you find very rapidly that it doesn't, because it's very, very, very difficult to define, and definitions actually matter. And so if it's a matter of transgressing against the boundaries of gender appropriate behavior, well, first of all, that indicates that there's something universal and normative about gender appropriate behavior, which is something that people who push the idea of toxic masculinity generally tend not to presume. And second, it's just as likely to happen among women as among men, in which case it's not toxic masculinity. So maybe on to the next question.
Okay.